Jim had gotten Whiskers as a kitten, thinking he would make a nice addition to his household. But as the months went by, Jim found himself growing tired of Whiskers. He didn't like having to clean up after him, and he resented the fact that Whiskers demanded attention and affection. One day, Jim decided he'd had enough. He took Whiskers to the local animal shelter and surrendered him. He told the shelter workers that he didn't want the cat anymore and that they could do whatever they wanted with him. Whiskers was frightened and confused when he first arrived at the shelter. He didn't understand why his owner had abandoned him, and he missed the warmth and comfort of his home. But he soon adjusted to life at the shelter, and he made friends with the other cats and the staff. Despite the fact that he was safe and well cared for at the shelter, Whiskers never forgot about Jim. He missed him terribly and longed to be back in his company. One night, when the shelter workers had gone home for the day, Whiskers managed to slip out of his cage and sneak out of the shelter. He was determined to find his way back to Jim. It took Whiskers several days to make his way back to Jim's house. He had to dodge cars and dogs and find his way through unfamiliar neighborhoods. But eventually, he arrived back at Jim's front door, meowing loudly. At first, Jim was surprised to see Whiskers. He had assumed that the cat was gone for good, but he quickly grew angry and picked Whiskers up roughly. "What are you doing here?" he yelled. "I don't want you anymore." Jim took Whiskers back to the shelter that very night, furious that the cat had found his way back to him. But Whiskers wasn't deterred. Once again, he managed to slip out of his cage and make his way back to Jim's house. This pattern continued for several months. Whiskers would escape from the shelter and return to Jim, only to be surrendered once again. Each time, Whiskers grew more determined to find his way back to Jim, no matter what. Finally, one day, Jim had a change of heart. He realized that he had been wrong to abandon Whiskers and that the cat truly loved him. He went to the shelter and adopted Whiskers, promising to love and care for him for the rest of his life.